So looks like we're all here. What a great turnout. My name is Ephraim. I'm the organizer of this meetup group. How is everyone tonight? I could barely hear you. Let's try this again. I know that you can do it better. How is everyone tonight? Woo! Much better. Are there any first timers in the room? Yeah, lots of first timers. I would like to welcome you especially. As you have already probably found out, we are about property investing, about coming together and learning and sharing information. The internet is quite good, but sometimes it's also much better to meet someone who has already done what you want to do and learn it firsthand from them. Tonight we have 4 speakers, so it's going to be a bit of a marathon, and I'm really looking forward to it. We have very exciting topics. So let me just say a few things about the group. We have started 3 years ago. We are at the moment Melbourne's largest property investment group, and we have 1,200 members and around 40 people showing up every month, so we do it once a month. And if you want to be on the list, make sure to go online and register at meetup.com, Property Investment Group. So you get all the emails, and sometimes we send out emails with free tickets and so on. Just make sure that you are a member of our group. Also, we are very fortunate to have sponsors. We have a couple of sponsors who help to keep the cost down. And also the Australian Property Investor magazine sponsors us. We get a box of magazines. They're worth $400 every month. And at the end of the presentations, which will be in around 2 hours, you will get today even 2 magazines for you to take away for free. Let me say a few things about our sponsors. One is, let's see if the thing works. Yep, one is Nyan. Probably a few of you have already seen him. He's Brisbane based, and he's a property investor and developer. He does a couple of different strategies like options and also just subdivisions. He has spoken a couple of times already, and he offers mentoring. At the moment we have about 12 people from our group who are his students and will learn how to invest and so on. And he will come down again in September, so watch out for emails. I will send out an email with free tickets to his half-day event. And he also has a couple of free things later on to give away for free. Then our other sponsor is Cameron from Dovetail Developments. He's a Melbourne-based developer. He's been doing it for quite a while, and he was also featured in the Property Investment magazine, over 5 pages. And one of his specialties is property syndicates. So does anybody know what property syndicates are? Yeah. Would you like to tell us quickly?
Yeah, because it can be hard for one person to maybe secure an investment property, but yet you can syndicate with other like-minded people, yeah? So the group, as a group, yeah? So it might be individually you can't afford to invest in a property, say for 2 mil, but as a syndicate of 10 people, yeah?
Exactly.
Then maybe that's good, yeah, that's
exactly.
good, yeah.
Joint venture?
Yes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If you don't have enough money on your own to do a development, you can join forces with a couple of others and do it. And if you're interested in doing that, Cameron is really great at it. So he has a website, dovetaildevelopments.com.au, and he also has some apartments, which is a project which he's selling at the moment. And he said if somebody wants to buy those, I usually don't like to do this like selling property, that's what real estate agents do, but I'm just mentioning he gives a $10,000 discount, like inclusions, free upgrades, and so on. And our other sponsor is Christian, and he's here. Where is he? Oh, in the back. Hello. He's our finance expert, and he's going to talk today, so that's why I won't make a big introduction. He will talk about himself anyway. And oh yeah, I should say this. There is a competition to win a trip to New York. So later he will give away some flyers. And if you want to enter it, you can win a trip to New York. And how much is the value? Almost $10,000. Having said this, we are looking for more sponsors. If you are a business or if you know any property experts or professionals, please let us know. And it is great to have a group of property experts who are part of this group and share their knowledge with us. We are looking at the moment for lawyers. Somebody approached me today anyway, that they know a good lawyer, so we might have him or her speak the next time. And accountants, builders, and so on. At this stage, I would also like to thank our volunteers very much. It is really awesome to have you help out with the events. They're getting quite big, and it's great to help us. So if you would like to volunteer at future meetups, you are welcome to do that. You will get free entry, and it's also a great way to meet new people, obviously. So this group is about networking and getting to know people. So we are doing a little game now, and I would like you to get up and talk to somebody you haven't talked to tonight yet, and ask this question: what is your goal in property investing right now? And then after that, of like 2 minutes, I would like you to come on stage, and these persons who want to share their goal in property investing right now, they will get some prizes. I've got a book to give away and 2 CDs worth like $79. So let's do some networking. Thank you very much. Someone who is here for the first time, who would like to come up on stage and share their goal in property investing right now? Mandy! Here you go, that's your free book.
Hi everyone, my name is Mandy and my goal is pretty simple. It's to eventually get enough cash flow that I don't have to work.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's a great goal, isn't it? I think quite a few people might have this goal in this room, otherwise you're in the wrong room. Okay, I've got 2 more prizes to give away from Jan. Advanced Property Strategies, how to find property bargains. So who is brave enough? Another new person, please. Yeah, don't be shy. Everybody's welcome. Yeah, thank you. How do you pronounce this? Hui. This is your free CD.
Hello everyone, my name is Hui. My property investing goal is to reach a 200k cash flow per annum in 10 years time, so I can retire in about 4 years old. Be specific with the goal, right? So.
I like that. Awesome. Thank you very much. And the last goal. Thank you, James.
Good evening, my name's Jones, and I had to get up there after that last comment because I too had the same plans to retire when I was 40. So I'm a little bit older, but was happily divorced at 35 and it all started all over again, so always look for a plan B. But actually came here tonight for the taxation talk, and here I am at a property talk, so I'm here to learn, and as soon as I get my hands on my super, I'll be happily investing.
Good stuff. Thank you so much, James. Yeah, the taxation talk will come soon, but first we will hear Suda Udaya from Udaya Group. He's the CEO, and he will talk about owner building. So please, let's make him welcome. Suda.
Thank you, Eko. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you today. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Suda Udaya. I'm coming from Sri Lanka, migrated to Australia year 2000. And initially I found employment at RMIT University as an academia, then I was teaching for nearly 10 years. While I was teaching, I researched in Australian economy to find out how to make more money and not to pay any tax. So then I attended so many seminars and then educated myself how to find a strategy to move on while I'm teaching. Because I had a son and daughter, 12 and 9 years. They were in school, and then I started my journey. And then while I was teaching, I went to TAFE College again, because my background is engineer. I have an engineering background and leadership and management. I got a couple of degrees and diplomas and half a PhD. So I went to TAFE back. I got my builder's license. And then started building 1, 2, 3 properties for my own, and then for my friends, and then I started to expand. So after 14 years time, I got more than 25 properties by myself, and then I got $60 million worth contract in front of me, and running nearly 7 successful companies as a CEO and the president of a group of companies. So I'm privileged here today to share my knowledge and experience. And now I'm fully retired, because my son 25 years old and he's running my company. My daughter 21 years old, still studying at the university, doing a double degree. My financial controller, so there's nothing for me to worry. Construction managed by my son, bank is managed by my daughter. So I'm free to travel, I'm enjoying my freedom at my 55 years old now. So got good health. So what I do now, teaching all other people how to do the same thing, what I did. So it is initially 14 hours, 7 days, 365 days, full-time work. And then I never gave up. There was setback in life, as you all know. But I just had the courage to stand on my own and keep moving. Now, back to the topic. Today, I'm going to talk to you about this owner, builder, and the traps in the building industry. And I'm very vocal about this because I've seen many, I don't know whether it is the right word, culprits, or people making wrong imaginary situation by deception. The industry, different sectors, they make a lot of money and they exploit people, normal mom and dad and consumers in the marketplace. And I experienced it, I saw it, And then I decided to branch out with a new entity called Property Investing Community, PCOM organization. I'm doing it almost for non-for-profit, educating everybody to grow on their own strength without falling into these pitfalls. So I'm opening up many shortcomings in the society and industries. You have already seen it, what I'm talking about in the financial industry. The biggest bank, Commonwealth Bank, Macquarie Bank, all the financial planners, they're driven by greediness and then giving advice by deception and taking all the clients' investment to a false hope, and then finally after a couple of years decimate to zero or to half. Right? So these are the true situations happening, true things in the society. So I'm here to educate you, not to get caught, even for these bigger banks, with all the licensed authorities and financial planning advisors and all the regulatory, highly regulated in Australian country, still these things are happening. Right? So my motive is, through the property investing community organization, educate, give you financial IQ so that you don't fall into these pitfalls. So I show you the pathway, what I did, what I practiced, and how I achieved. You are welcome to visit any one of my offices in Berwick, Dandenong, and Docklands, and you can book my time. It's free. I don't charge anything, but I tell you exact where you are, what you need to do, how to develop a strategy, how to grow bigger. Okay, let's come to this topic today. The 6 deadly traps to avoid building your own homes or even the investment property. So about Suda, I've already spoken to you, and these are the subtopics: 6 deadly traps to avoid, and choosing a builder, and the contract guides, and owner-builder program. Right. Now, these are some of my qualifications and what I've achieved in the past in Australia. So I did this MBA and MSc in RMIT as a staff scholarship while I was studying, while I was teaching. And then currently I'm the CEO of the Udaya Group Limited. It's a group of companies with, we have got a 5 skill set: architecture, design and construct. Then the Homes and Community is a construction now. And then we have got engineering, and we have got the real estate. I'm a full licensed auctioneer. And then also I've got the financial brokering license, and my friend Frank is the director of there, running the brokering now. So that basically we have got the entire value chain captured, and we can deliver good value propositions to any consumer without any bias. And then I was a public speaker in value chain management. That is my expertise. And also I was academia, I was a researcher. And then I founded a new building methodology, building technology in modular building system. Last year, I was a keynote speaker in Bangkok, Thailand, for the modular building system contest. And then also we developed another combined heat and power unit to generate electricity, and then byproduct is the hot water, and it's patented and it's developed, and pilot project is run, and then the samples are here available in Dandenong Operation Center. So in future, planning to do commercialization of these things, these ideas, as and when we go. So what are the deadly traps? The biggest deadly trap is undercoating. Right? And every day it is a challenge for me. And when I moved to my new building where I'm operating in Dandenong now, after 1 year's time, another builder moved 4 premises away, and then he put up the signage and the entire building dressed like my building, and he started practicing as a building practitioner and advertised heavily, and he went up to 168 contracts, and then he quoted every design which I was selling, $30,000 less. So when they come and when I give the quote, they take the quote to the next door and they give $30,000 less. So obviously these clients, they go with him. So it went up to 168 contracts, and one day we see him on the current affair. He went bankrupt, declared liquidation, and doors were shut, and he was everywhere. And so about $12 million suppliers got disappointed, 168 contracts, the holders had half-built houses everywhere and got disappointed. So this is a common practice, underquoting. Underquoting happened due to two things. One is inadequate knowledge in the industry, because the industry is full of tradespeople, they have been a carpenter for 5 years, then they become a builder. If you are a plumber for 10 years, then you can take the builder's license and can put the label builder, right? So building is a complex game because there are so many stakeholders participating in this, creating the value on ground. So if you are not adequately educated enough or intelligent enough to grasp all the variation and calculate all the cost element and finalize the final price, then they go by this so-called square meter area. Square meter area is not a prudent way of doing any costing or estimation. But the industry is such that everybody is asking at what price you can build. What is your square meter area? I never quote any square meter area because it's not good, it's not accurate, and this is the way that people go underquoting and winning the orders. So orders you can win by quoting, underquoting, and also most of these builders, they don't see because of the heavy cash flow happening in the work in progress. Because if you have 100 contracts and 100 quotes are in different stages, and the cash flow becoming rich, and if you do not have any financial discipline in managing your business, what happens? They withdraw this money and go and buy a boat, buy a luxury car, and live a life, and then come to the end of the program after 6 months' time and find that money is not there to complete the project. That's why out of 5 builders, 4 builders go bankrupt because of this inadequate knowledge, inadequate project management skill, inadequate discipline to manage the cash flow. So these are heavy numbers. And then you go into dream, mother, and gaga life when you see the big numbers coming into the account. But because of the work in progress, keep functioning, giving a lot of money coming into the account. And if you do not manage the process properly, then you go bankrupt, and that's why last year 10,000 builders went bankrupt in Victoria. So if you're going to develop any property, build your investment property, build your own house, you have to be very careful to identify with whom you are going to build. Right? So underquoting, so the price, you need to be aware that you need to get a proper QS, quantity survey, to prepare a report and to give you a quote. And then the other practice is during the building process, and most of the time they send variation. So legally, when you sign a fixed price building contract, you can have up to 5% variation. Right? And builder is allowed to give a reason and then charge, send you invoice, then you have to pay for that. Right? So then, when I give a fixed price contract, it's my company policy, it is fixed price. If there is any variation, I absorb the variation. Right? So that's how I created my brand power and the recognition in the market. That's why I get so many referrals and people coming through the door because of this good working practice that we have adapted. Because if you are a professional, you need to estimate. You should have the power and the knowledge to estimate what is going to be your variation, and then capture that variation and interpret it in a dollar value and include it in your fixed price contract, so there are no surprises to anyone. And everybody wants to build a builder. I talk to 10 people. So talking, there are so many people, everybody wants to be a builder. If I ask what you are doing, I'm going to be a builder. Right? So people don't understand, going to the, getting the builder's license is not the license for you to build. It took nearly 10 years for me to master the game. So it takes a lot of effort, and because the entire value chain is very complex. There are so many service providers and raw material providers and suppliers, and all the ingredients that you incorporate in creating this house, right, finally create the total value. So if you do not have a good network of suppliers, good network of service providers, good network of professionals, engineers, architects, energy raters, and site supervisors, you cannot create this product. So that's why when you become a builder and the experience you need to build up over a period of time. So when I started, I built only one house a year, just to get the experience. Because new country, new trade, new technology, I have learned myself. But next year, then I learn a little bit, and start building. So now we are handling 31 projects, nearly 600 unit and apartment developments. And then quality of work as money runs out. So that is the story I told you, because if you do not manage your cash flow, and then what happened at the tail end of the project is running short of money, and then he starts cutting corners every day. Right? So if you go with an unprofessional builder who has no control about everything what he does, so then you are bound to go into bankruptcy, and this is the story I told you for premises away from me. What happened to him, with 168 contracts. So all this, half of the contracts were done by me without any disappointment, but because he undercut 20,000, 30,000, he won the contract, but unfortunately couldn't complete it. And then it's very important for you to find out about the builder's track record, right? Even if you if you're going to buy bring a dog to house, you're going to find out the pedigree. Okay, who is the father dog, and how he behaved, and what is his temperament, and you do all the cross checks. But when you go to builder, you keep hunting for the cheapest builder. Right? This is the practice in the marketplace. So if you do not have a good track record about what his past testimony, how many projects he has completed, what is his education background, is he capable really, and what other people are talking about, has he at least got office premises, and some people they just mushroom and work from a home or from another place, and then in a mobile car sometimes I've seen people working. So there's no stability, because you're going to put your life on savings or nearly $200, $300 something, which is to be created. So it's completely different. If you're going to buy a car, you can test drive. If you're buying an established home, you can go and check. You can send the inspector to check. But when you sign up for a house to build, investment property to build, your own house to build, it is a dream that you're going to hand over in a piece of paper. It's only 2D drawing. And now it come on to reality on a piece of land. So that transformation is a heavy responsibility with so many stakeholders participating and going to do it. So that if you are new to the business, you have to be careful with whom you are going to do. So it's very important to have experienced builder to take your project. And choosing a builder. These are the criteria that I advise you to check. Number of years in business, number of projects completed, customer testimonies, licensed builder, these are the DBA or DBU, this is a domestic unlimited or domestic builder manager. So there are limitations in the building license here in Victoria, and then locality of operation, fixed price contract which I told you. Do they have an office and solo act or a team? So sometimes it's only one person, he does everything. And then staffing and resources. How do they manage the construction management process? And we use a software called Build-Trend. It's an iCloud-based managing system. So real task and management activity, all activities happening in the each building site, we get digitally recorded by the foreman on that site, and then uploaded into the iCloud. Then all engineers, including me, we can watch it, what's happening on site. And the quality assurance program. And we have a system database. We use quantity survey. Quantity survey is a professional, academically qualified after doing a 3-year degree in the university. They can capture all the cost elements in the building plan and feed it into the system. And the system carry last 6 months right current market prices prevailing in the local and global market. So that software calculate each item, how much it's going to cost. And then I put my overhead and my builder's margin, and then that is the price, non-negotiable. So if someone wants to negotiate the price, then you have to come and subtract what you have put inside the house. So if you have put porcelain, you take the porcelain, you can't afford to put normal ceramic. So you want a blue marble bench top, you can't afford, take it back, put a normal laminate. So that's the only way we negotiate the price. So because we are ethical company, and when you do the QS, quantity survey report, and when you input this information into the system calculates exact cost. So that is the cost that I have to charge you, right? So if you are negotiating, the negotiation needs to come on give and take, sacrifice. You take what you have, what you can't afford, put what you can input, and then we can come up with the right price. Right? The right price is in the system. So no matter what size, which suburb we operate, when we cost the project, and that will be the right cost. Right? And these are the softwares that we use in the build. And build-train is the real-time task management on site. No other builder is using this system, and I use them in my all project management. So at this time, we have got 32 projects on ground. I know exact status, and each status being digitally recorded, and it's uploaded into the iCloud, and the client can see, I can see. So you don't have to ask any question from me. When the project is progressing, and you can access, you have a password, go to the build-train software, in iCloud, you can see what's happening, the progress. Now there's another program that I have sponsored to help the community, is the Owner Builder program. Let's say you want to save some money because you have a knowledge, you have a passion to do, you can work like a handyman, then I encourage you to come to us. We can educate you, we can give a QS report, we can draw the plan for you, we can get the permits for you, and you can build the house by yourself, and you can make a good saving. So I don't need to charge the builder's margin, because but I support you to find your resources, all the raw material, service providers, they all are licensed service providers, and I recommend them. You can hire them, you can pay them directly, and you can save money out of it. So this is the only way that you can create a positive cash flow property. If you want to create a positive cash flow property, then you have to do everything in an economic manner. You have to find the right land at the right place and get the right design, and then if you want to do it by yourself, and then you create instant equity once you complete it. Because you are not paying for any commission, for any mediocrity sitting in the value chain in between. So that is the saving that you get. So the industry practice is when you go and buy a property in the open marketplace, there are so many risk margin included in the value chain. So for example, if you are going to buy let's say a land, the land developer has already got his 20%, 25% margin plus another 10% risk margin. So normally land developer create about 30-35% because he's taking the highest risk in the development program. And then when you go to the architect engineer, they charge you a professional fee. And then when you come to builder has the risk margin as well. So then when you go to the real estate agent, then he charges another 3%, 4% to sell it. So when you add up all this risk margin and each profit margin with each stakeholder once they extract, it accumulates around to 40 to 45% from the completed any brand new project. But the property investing community I have created to eliminate this risk. So if we all are together, let's say this room, we all get together. We say that, okay, we want to get together and create this investment property, 20 properties. Then I take you all to a piece of land, we go and hunt, and then we go and purchase all the land without any debt. Everybody contribute some capital to the value of purchasing the land. Then there is no risk. Why? There is no bank involved. We put money, all 20 people take the land. Right. Then I go with my architect, we do all the land development, cutting into slot, infrastructure, I got all the heavy machinery, so I can do it at a cost plus minimum margin because I don't have a risk. Because I've already got the buyers willing to buy after I finish the project, 20 buyers are there. So I eliminate 10 to 15% margin in each value creating. position. And then finally, we all get together and make this sale. So that when you come to the end, the property is sitting from the target market price at least 25 to 30% less. Why? Because we have eliminated the risk. There is no risk because we work as a community, and then this community get together and create the value, and then we share the reward together. But in real world, what happened? Why I got this idea? When I started this business, let's say when I have an apartment site, 20 apartments, 30, 40 apartments, I get a lot of people come, investment gurus come and knock on my door. Very simple, I got 2,000, I'm an accountant, I got 2,000 people with me. I'm a financial planner, I got 1,500 people with me. I can advise these people to buy this property, give it to me. I said, very good idea. Let's do some community service. Let's give this property proper advice for these people. But when we finished the conversation, they put the gun on my head. They said, but I need 8%, 6%, 10%. So in a project, I give away 30 to 40% money out to bribe the investment guru to recommend their own clients to take it. Then I say, I go home and sleep. I think, this poor man works 72 hours a week and earn, and then bribe $40,000, $30,000 the investment guru, come and buy a product from me. I said, no, this is not right. Instead of giving $30,000 to him, I give a $30,000 discount to him, this my end client. That is the right way. So this is the idea behind why I went ahead and established this property investing community to eliminate this practice. Right? And this is the real truth, and this is what is happening in the market. Everybody come in, because it is, for me, I see it is a betrayal of trust. Accountant says something, recommend, I got paid too much tax, go and buy this property. But when they buy the property from the other side, you get another $25,000, $30,000 into their pocket. So I don't endorse it. I don't like it, right? Because I learn all these things in a hard way, and I can see what's happening in the marketplace. But I like to share. I like to keep it all open. The 20 people who are coming, I would like to show this is the price of the land, this is the construction cost, this is how much we have to pay for the financial planner, this is how much we have to pay for the accountant, and then we do everything up front, open, transparent, and then make it fair share, so that there are no losers. Everybody is a winner. So this is my little story. I'm available to talk. I'm in public domain. I'm a public speaker. I'm available to consult free of charge. My knowledge, my experience, my wisdom, my teaching, available for everybody. Okay? Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Questions?
Yes.
We still have a little bit.
Yeah, if you have any question, I'm more than happy to answer. And if I don't know the answer, I'll go and get my mentor to advise me to get some answers. Yeah. Because I'm not supposed to know everything. But everything what I spoke is the gospel truth, what I've experienced and what I've created. And yes.
Just wondering, how much saving can you make to compare with the owner building property and other
Yes.
building?
Now, if you my advice to go for a owner builder program, if you have a network of your brothers, brother-in-law, someone, plumber, electrician, tiler, or plasterer, some skill set. Right? Otherwise, by trying to save being an owner builder, most probably you will build the house with more money. There won't be any savings. So it's a balance, a risk. So that when people come, I ask this question. So saving, that's the motivation for you to become an owner builder. But at the same time, on the other side, you take the calculated risk. So if you have the resources to mitigate that risk, yes, I advise you to go on a builder. Yes, sir.
Just coming out of the building trade, I advise against getting relatives to work on the house. Do you have a maximum size of your projects?
No, I've got normal mom and dad for 300,000. I've got $40 million projects on the other side with massive investment from China.
So how do you go with the union involvement on the bigger projects?
No, we work out of CBD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So you need to read my book. My title of my book is Peace, Joy, Happiness and Financial Freedom. Right? I practice it up to the last, every letter I wrote. That's why I'm a very happy man, 55, retired. Now I can teach everybody to get there. Right? And it's not a dream. You can do it. But everybody can do it. But everybody need to be disciplined. You need to have your financial life uplifted. So I'm the mentor. And it's free for you. I don't see any reason why everybody cannot reach there.
How do you also go with managing 20 different personalities? All
This is, I'm a mini Hitler. Because my style is, right, this is how I raise my children. You know, so in life, right? This is a Sri Lankan way. So I don't know how it happened in Australia.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm the leader in the family, right? So we have got the values which we brought from our ancestors, and then we have got the rules and regulations. So right from the beginning, everybody followed it. So in organization, it's the same. Everything run on a system. Newcomer welcome, and then they also explain what to follow, and they are supposed to follow. So if they don't follow, they get a warning. First warning, advice to correct. Second warning to dismiss next time, if not corrected. Third warning, out.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is a hiding time until you get the system. So this is how I manage, and this is how I succeeded, and this is how I brought up my children up. So my son, 25 years old, doing a PhD, running the organization, and very successful multi-millionaire. His article that we are in API, Australian Property Magazine, in October publication, running on to 4 pages.
Is there yet any warnings?
No.
Thank you so much, Suda. Thank you. So I know that there are more questions to be asked, and Suda has offered to give a free consultation to anyone who is interested. He left some brochures in the back, but I have seen quite a few have already taken them. There are still a couple left, maybe 3, and I've also put a tiny little piece of paper there with a pen. So if you want to write your name there and your contact details, and we will hand it to Suda, and then you can make an appointment and have a chat with him about whatever you like. Probably property, actually. All right, our next speaker is going to be Mai, and she will talk about tax. She's a registered tax expert, and I'm very looking forward to her talk. So please let's make her welcome, Mai.
Hello everyone. Everyone's awake?
Yes.
So thanks for coming down on this, it's a pretty cold day, so thanks for coming down and listening to obviously our speakers talk about property. Just to get a feel for who's in the room, just show a hand of who's is looking to do a subdivision or building their own home. A few of you? And who's bought property already, so has already 1 or 2 investment properties? Excellent. And who's the newbies looking to educate themselves and learn as much as they can to get into the property? Okay, so we've got a bit of everyone here. So I'll try to give a bit of tips for each of those segments. So a little bit about today's agenda. So we'll just go through obviously a bit about myself. We'll go through different ways to structure your portfolio. How to tap into your refund earlier. So those who already have investment property, that's a tip for you guys. And then we'll just go through some general tax tips on how to save your tax and also improve your cash flow. So in the next 30 minutes, hopefully get something out of today's session. So with everything, obviously this is a disclaimer, so just general information for today. So take your notes, but if you need a particular question, please speak to me afterwards, and I will give you more tailored advice. So just a little bit about myself. So as Ephraim has mentioned, I am a registered tax agent, and I specialise in obviously tax returns, tax advice for property investors, small business owners. I am a multi-million property investor myself. I started on my first one when I was 19. I'm in my early 30s, and me and my husband actively buy property and shares as well, but today we're focusing on property. So I earned my tax guru title by working at one of the largest accounting firms in the world, so KPMG. Worked there for about 6-7 years, and then I worked in in-house tax. Now I have my own practice. I've been doing that for a couple of years now. I put that knowledge that I've learned at the Big Four with my property investment knowledge into my business. I am a member of the Chartered Accountants and also a member of the Institute of Taxation. So anyone in tax, they're the two biggest organisations that you should be a part of. So I'm a part of both. And I guess my point of difference, you'll probably have many accountants out there, and so why am I different? Diamond a dozen, aren't I? I would like to think that, clients come to me with a frown, but they always leave with a smile. It's just tax, guys. It's not the end of the world. There's always a solution. So that's just a little snippet from True Local, some of my clients and their reviews on me. So you can jump on True Local and just type in Purple Numbers, which is my company, and there's about 9 now. So yeah, just jump on there and have a look. All right, let's get started. So let's talk about when you're about to buy a property. So you're ready to go. Obviously, got your finances, and you're about to buy a property. One of the first questions you need to ask is, what structure do you buy your property under? So there are 3 main ones. Obviously, there are more, but 3 of the ones that I'll touch on today are, you can buy it under your personal name. You can buy it under a company, or you can buy it under a trust. So each structure, obviously, has different benefits, pros and cons. So which structure is right for you? Okay? Everyone's answer will be different. It depends on your risk profile, your tax profile, you and your husband's tax profile. But these are some of the pros and cons. So assuming that the property you're about to purchase will be on the capital account, personal name. So it's low setup cost. It's your own personal TFN. You already have that. There is no asset protection if it's under your name. ATO obligations, quite low, it's just part of your individual tax return. The pro, if you hold the property for more than 12 months, then you may be eligible for the 50% CGT concession. So that could be a big saving if you're planning to make a gain on your property, which hopefully we all here to make a gain. The con, obviously, if you're on 100K and you make a property gain of 100, you're taxed at your marginal rate. So, it gets higher and higher. The more money you earn on the tax, the more tax you're going to have to pay based on your marginal tax rate. Another structure you can think about is company. Obviously, there's a high setup cost. You've got to set up a company, you've got to maintain all the asset fees. There's medium level asset protection. A company is a separate legal entity from yourself, so if anyone does sue you, it's protected, confined within the company. ATO obligations, again, obviously go to a company tax return, make sure you're up to date with your ASICs annual reports. A pro, asset protection being number 1. Con, there is no CGT 50% discount if it's under a company, so you don't get that 50% discount. Another structure, a trust. Again, high setup costs, asset protection high if you have a trust company combination, which a lot of people do have. ATO obligations quite high. A pro. Now, a pro for a trust, it's a little bit more technical, but if you structure it correctly, if you structure it correctly, you are able to distribute your profits in your family trust, subject to certain rules. Now they changed the trust rules. You cannot distribute to a minor anymore. So they must be 18 years or older. So they changed that rule 3 years ago. Okay? A con, losses are trapped. You cannot distribute losses out of your trust. So if you're going negative gear rate, a trust is not a good option for you because you cannot distribute losses out. So when choosing a structure, we go through a number of much more questions, and we go, what is your plan? What is your 5, 10-year plan? What is your profile? Then we determine what structure is right for you. Okay, some questions you should ask yourself or your accountant. Hopefully he was a property investor. Which name you should put your property under? Based on what's your tax profile? What is your marginal rate versus your spouse marginal rate? You know, if it's the same home mum, maybe it might be beneficial to put under her name, or vice versa. What concessions are eligible for? So make sure you understand what concessions you are eligible for. Also, if you purchased the property pre-September 1985, there are certain tax concessions available there. So make sure you understand what they are. And also all Australian residents, so if you're an Australian resident, your main residence is tax-free, subject to certain tests. So make sure you're aware of all these concessions and that you don't accidentally taint or disallow yourself some of these concessions by doing something accidentally because you didn't know it. Because these are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So getting the right advice is worth your money in gold. Okay. So this is about subdivision. So those who put your hand up when you're doing a subdivision or own a builder, some of these questions for yourself, you can ask these. If you're subdividing your family home, so if you have a nice block of land, 700 metre block of land of the family home, and you want to subdivide and sell off the rear land, think about how does that impact on your main residence inception. Should you be subdividing your main family home, or should you buy another piece of land? So these are questions, to start thinking about. Just a quick example, and we'll need volunteer participation here. So if I purchased an 800 square piece of land plus a home for $800K in 2000, and I want to subdivide the land and keep the existing front part of the house and sell the rear, and I sold the back land for $500K, who's brave enough to tell me what's my cost of my back land? Or any questions or any guidance? Anyone brave enough?
So how big is the land?
The land's 400. The original land was 800, subdividing it 400 back, so split in the middle half, selling it for, you're nodding? Come on.
I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
just trying to figure it out.
Okay. It's not as simple as, it's half the land, therefore I bought it for 800, 400. It's not as simple as that, because you've got a piece of land. This is your land, right? Subdivided in half, but you've got a house. What's the value of the house? So you need to get a valuation. So an independent valuation, and most bankers would normally arrange that for free, hopefully, to value what is the value of that 400 real piece of land, and that is your cost base. But you must do that valuation when you subdivide at that point in time. Don't do it 2-3 years down the track once you've already built it. You need to do the valuation on the date, so when you first go in the project. So these little things will save you a lot of tax, because when you eventually sell the property, you want to reduce your capital gains tax as much as possible. So you want your cost base to be as high as possible. So you need to do all this documentation from day one. You can't go back in time and change the dates, right? So this information, your accountant should be telling you these things, and it will save you a lot of headache. The HO will leave you alone, and it will save you money. Just put your hand up next time, right? All right, so, and I guess number 8, sorry, we'll go back. is if you are doing a subdivision, as Shun said, make sure you do your high-level calculation to just make sure it's profitable. What is your yield? If you're only going to make a 5% return, maybe just stick the money in the bank. You know, if high yield, high risk, high return. So you need to do the calculations before you start, not halfway through when you realise, oh my God, I only made a 5% return. Is it worth your time for what could be an 18 to 24 month project? Right. Okay, tax tips. So with anything, you have to make sure that you set up your loan, your bank loan, in a tax efficient manner. So please do not mix up your personal loan and your investment loan. Okay? So it's very easy to mix up your loans if you're not familiar with what you're doing. Please have separate accounts, so you could be with CBA or NBA or any other banks. Just make sure you have one loan for your investment property and one loan for your main residence. Be careful not to withdraw money out of your investment loan for personal use. So don't take money out of your investment loan to buy a car or a holiday and think that